Hey guys, so last night I saw The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, the new DC film, which is sort of like a soft reboot of the DC franchise, and I have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I thought the film was incredibly well made on a technical level. Everything kind of had a place, a purpose. Everything kind of came together. Really good really awesome action. Some actually really nice visuals, some cool camera work, some funny moments. All in all, like, it was a really well-made film. But I don't know why afterwards I kind of was disappointed, and I'm not sure why. So like I said, there's a lot to love about this film, but to me the film was less than the sum of its parts. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes there's movies that you can see for all its faults, it's still greater than the sum of its parts. I would say that would probably be something along the lines of maybe Alita Battle Angel, or one of those type films where it's, you know, the flaws, but it's still a really great film. This was the opposite, where all the bits were there, but it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's just a taste thing. I just didn't. I don't know. Okay, let's just run through some of the things that I found lacking. So, the characters. So you had John Cena as Peacemaker. I thought he was pretty good. But again, he wasn't as funny as I thought he was going to be. A lot of the jokes fell flat. There was not a lot of... I think that's actually the thing with this film. There wasn't a lot of great character moments. There was sort of the interactions. There was a few jokes and quippy dialogue between the characters, but no real sort of what I'd consider meaty kind of character moments. Like, if we look at the first Suicide Squad film, even though that was kind of butchered and by Warner Brothers, they kind of turned it into this shitty kind of film. There was a few really good, like, you could tell the film had a lot of heart in certain places, like, you know, when they're in the bar scene and everyone's talking and kind of saying about their problems and that, and a lot of the characters felt quite real, whereas this, there wasn't any of those moments, and when they were there, they felt incredibly kind of cheesy and very on the nose, you know what I mean? Like, this character is this way, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it kind of made the film almost feel a bit hollow. I mean, at the end of the day, it was just a fun action film. Like, there was a lot of cool action. You know, you've got John Cena with a sword cutting people up in the pouring rain. There was a fun scene with Idris Elba and John Cena's characters trying to outdo each other by killing in kind of funny ways, which I thought was a really good scene. And it had quite a good comedic payoff right at the end. But I don't know. But it wasn't a bad film. That's the thing. Like, it just felt it felt very James Gunn-esque, obviously, because he did it. I think if you're a fan of James Gunn, you'll like this film. If not, I don't know. You might be like me, and I'll be curious to see if there's any other people like me who didn't particularly love the film. They thought it was okay, you know, despite its technical prowess, if you will. But yeah, I don't know what else. So Idris Elba was good. He was fine. I think Will Smith probably would have been better in that role, but he was fine. Margot Robbie is again fine as Harley Quinn, although her dialogue is incredibly cringeworthy. I don't know why they do that with Harley Quinn. She's just like, all the jokes with her fell flat in my opinion. She had a really cool action scene though. The character design was great. Polka Dot Man was fine. King Shark wasn't annoying. There was an incredibly great... The film has such a great opening. It's one of the best openings I've seen in a film in a while. Really, the action was just top notch. Like, I can't complain about the action, but I think because you didn't get to have that connection necessarily with the characters, the action kind of felt... I don't know. It just felt a little bit empty, you know, like if you watch, if you're not invested in the characters, it kind of doesn't matter. I think that's where it was like, I don't know, it almost like Deadpool in a way, but much better than Deadpool. I didn't like Deadpool at all, but I think if you love Ryan, what's his name? The guy who plays Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. If you love him, then of course you love Deadpool. And I think this is the same sort of situation where it's just so... I'm trying to work it out, because the more I think about the film, the more it almost leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I'm like, I should have liked this film and I just didn't. It did lose me towards the end. There's this, spoiler alert, but there's this giant starfish who's like the villain in the film towards the end. And I just found that whole bit kind of just a bit silly. And it was, I don't know, it was just kind of silly and gross. And they killed off characters, and that was fine. Like, I didn't really get attached to really any of the characters, so that was fine when they died. But I think they could have done a little bit more. I think a little bit more heart would have gone a long way in the film. It felt a little bit paint by numbers as far as character motivations. I don't know. Comment below and tell me what you think. We can have a discussion, but it was just, like, I'd recommend people to see it. Like, I think it was a really good film, but there was something it was missing. And I think, but again, like I said, the action was top notch. There was just a lot of action. Like, I'm trying to remember it all, and a lot of it was really funny and really well done. But there was a few moments. I think one of the main things actually may have been the casting. The certain casting decisions may have hurt the film in certain ways. Like, some of the jokes fell flat because I think the Idris Elba especially couldn't pull off the required, like, comedic timing to make the jokes land. Harley Quinn was a little bit too in your face. There was just no real character moments that you could really sink your teeth into. There was the Rat Catcher 2, who was supposed to be kind of, I think she was supposed to be kind of like relatable and kind of like you're supposed to really cheer for her at the end, but she didn't really do anything during the film, so it was kind of weird. Like, she's supposed to have like this payoff at the end, but there was no real setup throughout the film to really have any, I don't know, what would you say, like a catharsis when she finally achieved something. So what was I going to say? Bloodshot or Bloodsport, whatever his name is, the Idris Elba character, looked really cool. I was glad that he wore his helmet a lot in the film. That was really good. He's got like a really cheap... Okay, here's one thing that kind of made me laugh is anytime they wanted the audience to feel sympathy for a character or hate a character, they would say something along the lines of, this character ate 27 children, or they killed 27 children, or we have to save these people because there's children there, or such and such is a good character because he saved children. I think they used that line about 3 times or more, which I thought was kind of funny. But I know it sounds like I'm nitpicking, but you see the film and you'll get what I mean. I think another film that's kind of like this is John Wick. So a lot of people like John Wick. And again, on a technical level, it's fantastic. Like, the stunt work is great, but I feel like the characters they just fall flat, and I think this is the same kind of situation. Like, I don't know. It's disappointing. In some ways, I like the characters in the first Suicide Squad better, even though objectively this is a better film, or subjectively, depends how you want to define that. But I don't know. Like, I just think there was more heart in the first Suicide Squad film. It was the tone was too, I don't want to say too Marvel, but it was a little bit too Marvel for my taste. I think that may be the problem. If you're into Marvel films, especially, and you like Deadpool, you're going to love this film. If you're not so much into Marvel films and prefer like your darker DC stuff, this might not work for you too well. It just depends. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. The music was pretty good. There's a few good hits that I can't actually think of off the top of my head. I know there was a really cool scene where they're all walking through the rain and one of the Pixies songs is playing. I thought that was really cool. The CGI was great. The violence was actually quite funny because it was so over the top that I thought it was quite tasteful in a way because it was so silly. you see a dude's penis, which is quite funny. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the Peacemaker show. John Cena's going to get his own spin-off TV show, so that should be good. But yeah, I hope that, I don't know, I hope DC films don't start kind of going off in this route more, sort of more comedy kind of stuff. I think that Marvel's already doing that. I don't think we need to see too much of this. I think they need to kind of stick to their own style a bit. But, yeah, I'm trying to think, what else? There was quite a good cameo from a certain Kiwi actor in it, which I thought was quite funny. But yeah, all in all, I think the opening was one of the best openings I've seen in a movie, and I kind of wish that the film was a little bit more like that overall. Yeah, anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. I'm sure there's something I've missed. I can't think off the top of my head, but there's something I must have missed about this film. But yeah, I highly recommend it for the general audience, but it wasn't for me, I think. And it just, the more I think about it, the more it kind of annoys me. But anyway, thanks for listening. Comment below. Tell me what you think about it. I'll be really curious to see what you think. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.